मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनि नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। पञ्चाकल्पतरुश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So yesterday we were reading dedication to Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan. We read one paragraph. We'll continue from there. Our Krishna conscious movement is genuine, historically authorized, natural and transcendental due to its being based on Bhagavad Gita as it is. It is gradually becoming the most popular movement in the entire world, especially amongst the younger generation. It is becoming more and more interesting to the older generation also. Older gentlemen are becoming interested, so much so that the fathers and grandfathers of my disciples are encouraging us to by becoming life members of our great society, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. In Los Angeles, many fathers and mothers used to come to see me to express their feelings of gratitude for leading Krishna Consciousness movement throughout the entire world. Some of them said that it is greatly fortunate for the Americans and that I have started this Krishna Consciousness movement in America. But actually the original father of this movement is Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna himself. Since it was started a very long time ago, but is coming down to the human society by disciplining succession. If I have any credit in this connection, it does not belong to me personally, but it is due to my eternal spiritual master, His divine grace, Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Ashtotra Shata Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. In the first beginning, Prabhupada is giving many qualifiers to this movement. He is saying a genuine, historically authorized, natural and transcendental. The four words we can contemplate on. It's a genuine movement which is far from cheating. Historically authorized. Historically authorized means the historians in the past also so many people have followed this authorized process. That's the meaning. Natural means it's naturally coming. It's not an artificial bombardment on the minds of the people. And the transcendental, it is beyond the three modes. So Prabhupada is telling this, and he is practically giving the proofs how the people are getting attracted to this movement genuinely. So next, please read.
If personally I have any credit in this matter, it is only that I have tried to present Bhagavad Gita as it is, without any adulteration. Before my presentation of Bhagavad Gita as it is, almost all the English editions of Bhagavad Gita were introduced to fulfill someone's personal ambition. But our attempt in presenting Bhagavad Gita as it is to present the mission of Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Our business is to present the will of Krishna, not that of any mundane speculator like the politician, philosopher or scientist, for they have very little knowledge of Krishna despite all their other knowledge. When Krishna says, Manmana Bhavamat Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru 18.65 etc., we, unlike the so-called scholars, do not say that Krishna and his inner spirit are different. Krishna is absolute and there is no difference between Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's pastimes, etc. This absolute position of Krishna is difficult to understand for any person who is not a devotee of Krishna in the system of parampara, disciplic succession. Generally, the so-called scholars, politicians, philosophers and swamis, without perfect knowledge of Krishna, try to banish or kill Krishna when writing commentary on Bhagavad Gita. Such unauthorized commentary upon Bhagavad Gita is known as Mayavad Bhashya. And Lord Chaitanya has warned us about these unauthorized men. Lord Chaitanya clearly says that anyone who tries to understand Bhagavad Gita from the Mayavada point of view will commit a great blunder. The result of such a blunder will be that the misguided student of Bhagavad Gita will certainly be bewildered on the path of spiritual guidance and will not be able to go back to home back to God.
So Prabhupada is talking about how this presentation of Bhagavad Gita is transparent without any adulteration in this. So any credit Prabhupada is telling, somebody came to Srila Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, your commentary on Bhagavad Gita is like as good as Ramanujacharya's commentary. Prabhupada said that is the qualification. I'm very glad to hear that. Usually any writer who writes his own book, then if he says this book is copied from there, people usually become hurt. But Prabhupada was told that your commentary is as good as Ramanujacharya's Bhagavad Gita. He was proud of that because I am not deviating from parampara. That's what Prabhupada said. Okay, we'll read one more paragraph. Our only purpose is to present Bhagavad Gita as it is, in order to guide the conditioned student to the same purpose for which Krishna descends to the planet once in a day of Brahma, or every this will be 1,000, 10,000, lakhs,
86,000.
8.6 crore years. This purpose is stated in Bhagavad Gita. We have to accept as it is. Otherwise, there is no point in trying to understand Bhagavad Gita and its speaker Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna first spoke Bhagavad Gita to the sun god some hundreds of millions years ago. We have to accept this fact and thus understand historical significance of Bhagavad Gita without misinterpretation on the authority of Krishna. To interpret Bhagavad Gita without any reference to the will of Krishna is a great offense. In order to save oneself from this offense, one has to understand the Lord as Supreme Personality of Godhead, as was directly understood by Arjuna, Lord Krishna's first disciple. Such an understanding of Bhagavad Gita is really profitable and authorized for the welfare of human society in fulfilling the mission of life. So, Prabhupada, because some people who don't know Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, they take him as an ordinary person. When you take it an ordinary person, what happens? Any ordinary person's opinion, what is the use of that? There's no use of any ordinary person's opinion at all. So accept Krishna as a Supreme Personality. Of course, Prabhupada goes to say, even if you cannot accept, theoretically understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality. At least theoretically understand. At least as an axiom, take it. Prabhupada says also in the further. Meena, can you please read the next paragraph?
The Krishna conscious movement is essential in human society, for it offers the highest perfection of life. How this is so is explained fully in the Bhagavad Gita. Unfortunately, mundane wranglers have taken advantage of Bhagavad Gita to push forward their demonic propensities and mislead people regarding right understanding of the simple principles of life. Everyone should know how God or Krishna is great, and everyone should know the factual position of the living entities. Everyone should know that a living entity is eternally a servant, and that unless one serves Krishna, one has to serve illusion in different varieties of the three modes of material nature, and thus wander perpetually within the cycle of birth and death. Even the so-called liberated Mayavadi speculator has to undergo this process. This knowledge constructs a great sense, and each and every living being has to hear it from for his own interest.
Prabhupada is further telling about first position of Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here is talking about Jiva, the eternal servant. Actually, these writings are based on the facts, the realities, nothing concocted anywhere. So that's how it becomes authorized. And Prabhupada is pleading people. It's a great importance. This book is for every human form of life, right? He's saying, consider great science. Each and every living entity has to hear for one's own interest. Usually people canvas their own book, their own literature or whatever, in order to benefit themselves, because it becomes the best New York bestsellers or some other bestseller and becomes. So what they gain, the author anyway gains. Most of the times novels, Harry Potter's, many other books are spoken. But what benefit the people will get after reading that? Now it's an interesting novel. Now how it will apply to your life? And because it is concocted, if you try to even apply, an imperfection knowledge will not benefit anyone. So we'll move ahead. People in general, especially in the age of Kali, are enamored by the external energy of Krishna. and they wrongly think that by advancement of material comforts every man will be happy. They have no knowledge that the material or external nature is very strong, for everyone is strongly bound by the stringent laws of material nature. The living entity is happily the part and parcel of Lord, and thus his natural function is to render immediate service unto Lord. By the spell of illusion, one tries to be happy by serving his own personal sense gratification in different forms, which will never make him happy. Instead of satisfying his own personal material senses, he has to satisfy the senses of the Lord. That is the highest perfection of life. The Lord wants this and he demands it. One has to understand the central point of Bhagavad Gita. Our Krishna conscious movement is teaching the whole world this central point, and because we are not polluting the theme of Bhagavad Gita as it is, anyone who is seriously interested in deriving benefit by studying the Bhagavad Gita must take help from the Krishna conscious movement for the practical understanding of Bhagavad Gita under the direct guidance of the Lord. We hope therefore that the people who will derive the greatest benefit by studying Bhagavad Gita as it is, and we have presented it here, and if even one man becomes a pure devotee of the Lord, we shall consider our attempt a success. So Prabhupada is telling how it is natural here. I think the 4 words what he spoke there above is elaborating on them actually. So this is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, 12th May 1971, Sydney, Australia. So in the introduction he is going to speak actually these 5 things, 5 aspects very elaborately. Even somebody tries to understand this introduction of Bhagavad Gita also will benefit a lot. So the introduction little longer, doesn't matter. We can better go through that. It may take 1 or 2 days for us to go through whole thing, but still it's very, very beneficial. Devoting 1 or 2 days is not a big thing, but let us try to understand the Bhagavad Gita's introduction by Prabhupada. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam.
I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet?
Swayam Rupa Kadamayam. Okay. Vandeham Shri Guroh Shritapadakamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhantamscha.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and unto the feet of all Vaishnavas. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami, along with his elder brother Sanatana Goswami, as well as Raghunath Dasa and Raghunath Bhatta, Gopala Bhatta, and Srila Jiva Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, along with Advaita Acharya, Gadadhara, Srivasa, and other associates. I offer my respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, along with their associates Sri Lalita and Vishaka.
He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate.
Oh my dear Krishna, you are the friend of the distressed and the source of creation. You are the master of gopis and the lover of Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. I offer my respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold, and who is the queen of Vrindavan. You are the daughter of King Rishabhanu, and you are very dear to Lord Krishna. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the all Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda
I offer my obeisances to Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasa, and all other in line of devotion.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Bhagavad Gita is also known as Gita Upanishad. It is the essence of Vedic knowledge and one of the most important Upanishads in Vedic literature. Of course, there are many commentaries in English on the Bhagavad Gita, and one may question the necessity for another one. This present edition can be explained in the following way. Recently, an American lady asked me to recommend an English translation of Bhagavad Gita. Of course, in America, there are so many editions of Bhagavad Gita available in English. But as far as I have seen, not only in America but also in India, none of them can be strictly said to be authoritative, because in almost every one of them the commentator has expressed his own opinions without touching the spirit of Bhagavad Gita as it is.
So that time, according to time, there were so many commentaries. Now, many more commentaries are available on the name of themselves. In the name of Bhagavad Gita, putting their own name next to it, they speak everything what nonsense they want to say. So Prabhupada used to say, what used to say? If at all you want to say what you want to say, you write your own Gita. Why you are saying Bhagavad Gita and you are putting your name and you are telling whatever you want to tell? Prabhupada is very much against it. People are just simply bluffing. They simply wanted the fame by writing their name next to Bhagavad Gita. So they are taking the credit from Bhagavad Gita means what is the credit of Bhagavad Gita, and they are trying to tell what they want to say. Prabhupada is too much against. So that's why Prabhupada named it as Bhagavad Gita as it is. The spirit of Bhagavad Gita is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita itself. So, spirit of Bhagavad Gita is remembered. This is the first chapter Radhesham writes in the Positive Thinker about spirit of Bhagavad Gita. It is just like this. If you want to take a particular medicine, then we have to follow the directions written on the label. We cannot take the medicine according to our own whim or the direction of our friend. It must be taken according to directions of the label or the direction of the physician. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita should be taken or accepted as it is directed by the speaker himself. The speaker of Bhagavad Gita is Lord Sri Krishna. He is mentioned in every page of Bhagavad Gita as Supreme Personality of God, Bhagavan. Of course, the word Bhagavan sometimes refers to a very powerful person, any powerful person or any powerful demigod. And certainly here Bhagavan designates Lord Krishna as a great personality. But at the same time, we should know that Sri Krishna is the Supreme Person of Godhead as is confirmed by all the great acharyas, spiritual masters like Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Nimbarka Swami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and many other authorities of Vedic knowledge in India. The Lord himself also establishes himself as Supreme Person of Godhead in the Bhagavad Gita and is accepted as such in the Brahma Samhita and all the Puranas, especially in Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Bhagavata Purana, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Therefore, we should take Bhagavad Gita as it is, directed by the personality of Godhead himself in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 4:1-3. Lord says, Imam vivasate yogam proktapanaham avyayam vivasvan praname praha manurikshvakave bravit evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakaline hamata yogo nashta parantapa sayevayam maya tetya yoga prokta puratanah bhaktosmi sakacheti rahasyam hi etaduttamam. He spoke here, the Lord informs Arjuna that this system of yoga, Bhagavad Gita as it is, was first spoken by to the Sun God, and Sun God explained it to Manu explained it to Ikshvaku. In that way, by disabling succession, one speaker after another, this yoga system is coming down. But in the course of time, it has become lost. Consequently, the Lord has to speak it again, this time to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So, Prabhupada is quoting now authoritatively how Brahma Samhita and all other acharyas, everyone accepts Krishna as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now he is going to request us, even if you don't accept Krishna as Personality of Godhead, at least theoretically accept him, then you will benefit. So Prabhupada is also telling about how the medicine should be taken according to the direction of the physician, not according to one's personal whim. So that is a very important point. So how Bhagavad Gita should be taken, it need not be told by any nonsense mental speculator is writing, Bhagavad Gita, and next to it that his name, and he is prescribing how it should be taken. Krishna means you need not to take Krishna, within Krishna. This kind of commentator, rascal commentator, Prabhupada used to say. So that kind of personality we need not to hear. We can hear from Krishna. He also says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevya, in the same 4th chapter. Pariprashnena sevya. Pranipata pariprashnena seva. That's how one can understand the knowledge. Here the knowledge is directly coming in disciplining succession from the sun god. That also is referring. So here we'll pause today and we'll continue from after quoting 4.3, one paragraph we have read the translations, essence of translation, and tomorrow we'll continue from here. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.